I know I said that the summer 2021 anime season looked kinda slow and maybe not as good as the fall, but that didn't mean that I wasn't looking forward to a couple of shows, actually. And as a matter of fact, the one anime I'm going to be talking about today is the one anime that I've really been looking forward to for the summer 2021 season, the Aquatope on White Sand. This anime is a dramatic slice of life with some comedic elements to boot. Not only that, but the story itself revolves around mysterious happenings at the Gamma Gamma Aquarium. Now, before I get any further, I have to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content on the channel anytime now in the past, present, or the future. And if you're watching my content now and you're a part of that 99.5% of people who are not subscribed, who have been watching my content in the last 28 days, consider hitting that subscribe button and let's bring those margins a little bit closer together. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the main body of this episode 1 review. It's inherently obvious that this is a PA Works anime. The character designs are smooth and free of sharp edges and draw lines. If you've seen Iroduku with the World in Colors, you'd be able to tell that it was also done by PA, same as Aquatope. Honestly, the name of the anime itself gives away that this is going to be a great story, just from the complexity of the title, the Aquatope on White Sand. The story revolves around Kukuru, an 18-year-old high school student who works at the aquarium, and Fuuka, who has given up on her dream of becoming an idol as she tries to find a place to belong. When Kukuru finds Fuuka inside the aquarium after she experiences a strange phenomena, Kukuru explains to her what she saw. She tells Fuuka they're trying to fill an open position there at the aquarium, but no one has applied, in which case Fuuka begs for the job. She's desperately trying to find a place to belong. Early character development is seen once she departs the plane she took on impulse to Okinawa. She has essentially run away from herself. Fuuka gave up on being an idol after overhearing her manager talk about her, even though she tries so hard. That's pretty harsh, hearing that you're not good enough from your manager themselves, and not even being told directly. However, what was fascinating was how Fuuka bottled up all of her emotions and went with the flow, or in this case, her impulses. Being an idol was her dream, and performing on stage with the other girls was something she had always wanted to experience. But running away from her problems is exactly something that a young adult such as Fuuka would do, but this doesn't seem to hinder her character at all. Fuuka knows she can't run from her problems forever, and when she finally realizes this, it's going to be an explosive moment for her. Aside from Fuuka and Kukuru, the artwork for this anime is gorgeous. Bright, vivid colors and well fleshed out characters make this anime an early top contender for anime of the season. Already having this amount of insight into Fuuka's past is going to set the stage for some wonderful character growth out of her. Kukuru will be a character to watch, as well as you can definitely sense a budding bond between the two girls. When the pacing is considered, the episode starts off gradual and builds its way up after each major event in the episode. The very first episode in of itself has its own plot and story. Fuuka quitting her dream of being an idol, the plane to Okinawa, the fortune teller, the aquarium, and finally meeting Kukuru. There just really is not a rushed feeling to the episode at all. In fact, it's pretty well paced, all things considered. Even the voice acting is incredible. Miku Ito does a great job voicing Kukuru, and Rikako Aida does perhaps an even better job voicing Fuuka. There are more than 10 background designers for this anime in the first episode alone. So doubling back on the artwork here just a little bit, it's really no wonder that episode 1 was so well designed with more than 10, upwards of 15 background designers. With how well the first episode was executed for it being an original work, only gives this anime more props. While everything in episode 1 was relatively well explained and thought out, there was one thing that actually does stick out a little bit. What we don't have explained to us is what this little elf or guardian spirit is that is walking along the side of the road wherever Fuuka and Kukuru seem to be. With this anime also having that mystery element to it, it's not hard to imagine that this little spirit is going to play some kind of a larger role in the future. The aquarium seems to hold one big secret that nobody really knows anything about besides Kukuru, which is largely based upon the story that her grandfather told her. Fuuka, having already run away from her past, must now find her place to belong, and it seems to be the aquarium with Kukuru. The two girls hit it off pretty well, and it seems that Fuuka's unpredictable nature has landed her a role in something that she could never have imagined, which makes Fuuka and Kukuru all the more unpredictable. That alone gives episode 1 a relatively high mark. The first episode itself easily gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me, and I'm excited to see where the next 23 episodes take us. Likewise, whether or not Fuuka and Kukuru develop more than a friendship-driven bond will be something to watch for. Something to listen for is the soundtrack. It sounds great, and it looks like it's going to be a great fit, or I guess sounds like it's going to be a great fit. With this, again, being an original anime, the soundtrack alone could be what carries it to a top spot or what really hinders it. But so far, there are big props to be had for the composer Yoshiaki Dewa for what's quickly turning out to be a well-placed soundtrack. There's no source material for this anime, so there's nothing to adapt from, which is what makes this an original anime. Which also means there's no telling how the anime is going to go. But it's a safe bet that, with the way things are going in episode 1 alone, this anime will turn out to be something incredible, and I cannot wait for next week. BA Works is a strong studio, and they make some really great anime, and they do some really great work. The Aquatope on white sand being placed within a tropical type of setting is going to be really interesting, and I think it's going to be a really fun watch. But I want to know how you feel about the anime so far. Will this be something that you decide to pick up, or will this be something that you decide to let go for the season and maybe pick up at another time? Either way, I'll be watching this week to week and sharing my thoughts. The Aquatope on white sand is going to be an anime that undoubtedly makes it into my top 10, perhaps even my top 5, but we'll see. If you're on the fence about this anime and you haven't watched the first episode yet, definitely go and watch it. Episode 1 came together in a way that I wasn't expecting, and I was definitely a little bit surprised. So definitely make sure you check this out, and I will be back next week with my thoughts on episode 2. So you've got about 5 or 6 days before I go ahead and spoil episode 2 next week, because you haven't watched episode 1 yet. I'll try not to spoil too much in these reviews, but definitely make sure that you watch this video after you watch the episode for the week or you've gotten caught up. That's all I've got for episode 1, and I really enjoyed it, so definitely make sure that you check the anime out, and I will be back next Friday or Saturday with episode 2. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, peace.